All right. Hi, guys. Welcome to our live tonight, our Monday lives. Really cool to hang out with you again. And today's topic is just to get you guys going on to a virtual, what's that called? A virtual summit, is it? A virtual event. And as you guys know, it's COVID right now. And uh, basically, another speech therapist, uh, reached out to me and she said, "Hey, you want to be in this virtual event tomorrow, October 5th, right?" And what we're going to do there is that we're going to hop on, and there's a bunch of different uh, professionals, all right? And they're all based in the United States, or at least as far as I know. And what we're going to do now is I'm one of the speakers there, and we're going to go through a bunch of tools and tactics and strategies, mindsets, activities. All right. I'm not entirely sure what they're going to share, but what I'm going to share is basically everything that I share in these lives, but a little bit more, pretty much a lot more. I will try my best to explain as much as I can during that time. I think out of the time that I have, probably 1 hour, and I will try to do the stuff that I've been doing here on lives, answering questions, telling you what to do. And the theme of it is called "Has Your Child Been Left Behind?" Okay, it might sound like a little bit fear, it finds a little fearful. It's like, oh no, is my child left behind or whatever? Well, the thing is, like more and more, this COVID thing has been making us pretty difficult to get back to school, especially with the vaccination things. Like, not everyone is on board with it. I get it, and that's why not all the therapists can actually go into school, right? So the premise of this is basically that the whole live event is to talk about, hey, what effective at-home strategies are there to help your child speak better, increase adaptability and succeed in school, right? And the reason why I've joined this, because recently I've started to see like one or two students who I feel comfortable with seeing, right? And the first time they came back, right, just two of them, they could not adapt to me. They forgot how it is to see a human. They forgot how it was to be in therapy, and it was quite a difficult task to get them back up to speed. That there was a lot of stuff to go through, especially those who are on the spectrum. When they first came, one of the boys, right, he was having a hard time. He was really having a really hard time trying to sit down with me, talk to me, and so on, right? So to and for me, I also want to learn from the other professionals to see what there are, what is it that I can teach you guys in the future as well, and what kind of strategies do they think it works, right? So guys, go sign up at the link in the description box. It's let me just post it one more time here, right? If you can see it, you can click it. Then it's by this speech therapist. Her name is Kolby, and we're teaming up with a bunch of professionals to talk about it, right? And during that time, for all those people in America, that would be during the day. For us in Asia, man, I'll be staying up for this like 3 a.m. or something, or 4 a.m. trying to talk to people and teach parents over the internet the stuff that I've been doing since forever, right? So about all this pandemic stuff, right? That there's a whole bunch of talk about like virtual autism and having like corona babies. These type of children will know is like the new normal, right? Let's talk about like a little bit about virtual autism first. And this came from like me hearing it was like a year or two ago, and then during our sharing session about ASD, right? If you guys were in it before, then great, but there was a parent who asked, "Oh, does watching screen, like screen time or using gadgets, does it create autism? Like, does it make autism a thing?" Right? And I said no. That's impossible for a child to have autism because of gadgets, right? Because autism existed before we had like smartphones or iPads, whatever, right? It happened before, and therefore that's not that I don't think it's true at the very least, right? And so like a fellow therapist was like, hey, you better look at this and that, right? Which I don't mind, to be honest. I'm always learning, but no matter that person's intention, right? She told me about virtual autism, which I kind of knew about, but I really think that the word like virtual autism is a little bit misleading. I believe that at times you should be careful about what this diagnosis is, because it's not inside of the diagnostic what's that called, DSM-5. If you guys are you know about that diagnostic booklet, that booklet about all the different labels and so on. It's not inside, right? And how do you even get diagnosed with that? What is virtual autism? Does it equal autism? Like, no one can tell you that. There are a lot of what's that called? A lot of studies talking about that. It's about how using gadgets and so on can actually like create symptoms, like to make children look like that they have autism, right? And if that's the case, then it's only like symptoms like autism, then it's not the real thing. Okay, I might be getting it all wrong. If I'm wrong here, just tell me about it. But I'm pretty sure like no one knows anything about this at this moment, at least not anything substantial. Okay, so forgive me when I push this aside and I tell you guys about this. But more and more, I think this will become more of a theme that a lot of people will ask about these questions over and over again about, what's virtual autism? Does coronavirus or the pandemic decrease does it have a social impact on our children? Now, obviously, yes, it even has social impacts on us, right? And as we go forward, I really think that what's going to happen is that virtual reality is going to be a huge thing in our lives. At the very least, not fully virtual, maybe augmented, right? So maybe that would become quite a good, because I've been playing with a virtual reality machine. That's why I'm talking about this. I think it's quite cool that you can simulate situations inside of a thing, and we can use gadgets in a way that will help children to learn things, right? And there are loads of apps out there that claim to do this, right? I say claim meaning I haven't used it. I only heard of it and seen their ads and so on, right? So they like, such as Gemini and Speech Bulbs, or I forgot the name, sorry. But these are like the educational apps that you can get on your iPhone or your smart whatever, right? And that becomes more of a lesser evil when you're trying to teach at home, right? But at the same time, what I'm going to talk about at the live virtual event tomorrow is that I'm still thinking about it. I think I'm going to talk about like how to get your child to just sit down with you like for 15 minutes just to learn a little bit from you. Okay, that's super important. And if you've ever seen all the testimonials on agentsofspeech.com, then you will see that all the parents, they are all able to manage their children, manage behaviors, get them to sit down and teach them whatever that they want to teach, right? I just got a parent asking me something just today, and she was like, how do you get a child to look at me and pay attention? And turns out it's because the task is too mundane. Then obviously no one wants to pay attention, right? And then she also told me that the toilet training we have on Agents of Speech really helped them, and that really brings a lot of joy in my life, to be honest. Like, to make something and then to have it work on like multiple children, then it's great. But obviously there are like other professionals who say, this is not like what's that called, evidence-based or whatever. Then that's fine as well. That's fine. Just try everything and find something that works. Okay, so inside of the live virtual event, if you guys haven't signed up, go do it now. It's tomorrow. I believe there will be recordings if you're not from North America. And basically what everyone's going to share there are all the professionals' tips and tricks in helping you at home. Okay, because this pandemic isn't going anywhere anytime soon, at the very least, and we're not getting back into school as much as fast as we can, as we want to, right? So given that situation, the best thing we can do is equip the parents since day one, right? And a lot of the setbacks I get as a therapist, a lot of times, like today when one of my, I think my 10th student here in this city, right? He came back and his mom cannot really control the child. And I don't blame the mom or whatever, right? But then every time he wants something, he would whine, keep on whining, and then when he gets his way, he will say thank you. It's like it just doesn't make sense. And his new favorite thing is a onigiri, like a sushi rice dumpling kind of thing, right? And then he would whine about it, cry about it, and then sometimes laugh, but then cry again. So it's like very manipulative, is what I mean, right? He's controlling his emotions and his facial expressions to get what he wants, and he can talk. That's the thing now. When he first came, he couldn't talk. Now he can talk quite a lot. It's like 2 to 3 word sentences he can as well sometimes. But it took us a lot of time, like nearly 2 years to get here, like from nonverbal we're talking about. Anyways, everyone's different. If you have your child's questions, leave it in the comments below, or email me or something. I'll try my best to get back to it. It's getting increasingly difficult to do so, which is both a curse and a blessing, because it means that agents of speech is going somewhere. More and more people know about it, but at the same time, it means that I cannot serve you like as much as I wanted to before. It's just physically impossible. Anyways, so when I asked the mom, hey, can you sit him down like every day 15 minutes just so that we can increase the effectiveness of our therapy, because a lot of his therapy work is basically just building sound, because he's a speech disorder case. If you don't know what that is, just search it on the internet, right? Maybe on Agents of Speech on our YouTube. We have talked about this before, like speech versus language. But anyways, so he's got a speech disorder. If the mom could sit him down 15 minutes for real and go through the sounds we've been doing, which is like K sounds, and also at the we've been doing K and G, and also like some multi-syllable words. And if the mom could go through those at home like for 15 minutes, then it just makes sense, right? And what she said to me was, quite interesting today. She said that, how about this, man? Let's give it to him, because we spend money to see you, and I don't want it to be like just wasted him sitting there crying. And she's like, if we waste like 5 to 6 sessions, that's a lot of money, and I don't want to do that. And I totally agree with that. But at the same time, there's a part of me which is like, is there any way that we can manage this child's behavior a little bit more, just by suffering on the front end? Like obviously as he gets better at talking, that's a huge blessing for all of us, right? But at the same time, if you can't sit your child down and control him and tell him like, and it's always bargaining with him, it gets very, very tiring. It's very, 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 very difficult for everyone to have a good time in life. And that's the problem with it. So the thing is, the huge problem I see in a lot of therapy work that I do is because I get the parents, especially the moms, in the room with me. So I want them to be there, but when they're not around, the child becomes someone else. It's very, very easygoing. It's easy to manage them. They do a lot of work, but would I give it up? Would I give up parental education over the child's ability to like follow me? I would say no. I would rather the parent just sit there and see how it is. And what I really don't like what parents do is like, when the children aren't speaking, they will tell the child, hey, say it now, like beside me. So it doesn't work that way. And sometimes I do want them to go outside at those times, right? It's always a double-edged sword. You let parents in, like if you guys go to a therapy room, you can sit in, right? How does that affect the whole environment and so on, right? So my point is that you need to become a better communicator, okay, with your child. You need to become a better leader with your kid. Right? Can they follow you? Can they listen to your stuff? If not, it's going to affect all aspects of therapy whenever you're inside. Okay, cool. So let's see what Aisha says. Yeah, Aisha says, I'm doing good, thanks. My son is now speaking full sentences of speech. Is still need-based mostly. Okay, encourage back and forth conversation, proper communication, borderline ASD. on medication. Okay, I don't know what RISP is. I'm sorry. He is 5 years old. Well, like Aisha, um, as we always say about this, you need to have like a strong context for him to have a back and forth with you. So that's the thing about it. You cannot just you just want back and forth, right? I mean, he's not interested in something, so you have to have an activity that you guys both enjoy having. For instance, like board games, or reading a book together, or whatever. But you can't, if it's need based, you cannot literally just jump up into back and forth conversations and using language for everything, right? It's very difficult. So what I would say, Aisha, is that you gotta have something that you guys enjoy together, some sort of activity, and also be the ability to sit him down every day for 15 minutes, as I was talking about, just to teach him some stuff through books, through pictures, through games and whatever. And during that time, you will build a lot more rapport with your kid, and they will try to talk to you more. Okay. But if you don't have that activity and it's all need based, they're not treating you like a friend. All right. And this is where the parents will say, my kid really likes you. He would come up to you and show you something and tell you about something. But you have to remember how much work I have done, right? How much work I have done to help with the child liking me, and wanting to show me stuff and wanting to engage with me. How much work I have done on the front end, trying to, give them what they like, praise them for everything that they do, ignore all the bad behavior, never reprimand them, never like saying bad things about them. It takes a lot of effort, so you have to think about that. If they only come to you for needs, then you have to think about, okay, who am I to my child? If it's only a need-based thing, you're a vending machine. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever given or are you a song machine? Sometimes you're a jukebox that you go over and you instantly have to sing something, right? So you have to become someone that the child wants to engage with you, and that's why you need to find things that you can enjoy together. Okay? I hope I answered your question. It's very difficult, case-by-case basis on this live. Anyway, another Aisha. What's up? Many Aishas. Boy is 3.3 years old. Follow my techniques. Very good. Now he improves. He used to say two-word sentences sometimes, but his alien language use is still there. Yeah, alien language, or like babbling or whatever you call it, is still going to be there. It's just a way of practicing over and over something. Hopefully that's the case, right? So, that's just something you have to keep on going, man. Aisha, I'm proud of you. Keep on going. All right. And maybe if you can guess the alien language, you can say it in real language for them, right? So that he knows, or she knows, or he, in this case, what to do, what to say in that situation. Okay. It comes down to always describing, talking, and then telling them what this is, describing that, answering questions, so on and so forth, right? By the way, guys, if you haven't, go sign up for the virtual event for tomorrow. Man, I'm already sleepy. I don't know how I'm going to do it tomorrow, but I'll try my best. P says, what is the easiest way to teach them to say yes and respond to their name when they're called please, thanks? Yeah, I mean, you didn't tell me how old and what language level your child is at. Very difficult to answer this. Yes, no questions I wouldn't touch until they can speak in one word or whatever. And respond to name. Why do you want them to respond? We have loads of videos about responding to names. All right. If you don't have a reason to why your child should respond to your name, then don't do it. Okay. If it's responding to name is a very self-serving thing. You just want to like, oh, okay, hi, like that. Or is there a function to it? If there's a function to it, what's the reward for it? What's the consequence for responding to the name? You have to think about that. Okay, get back to me on how old and the language ability of your child. Very difficult to answer that question. All right. Amy says, what interventions would you do for a child with severe receptive language delay? Okay, so I don't know how old your child is, Amy, and I don't know like his or her, right? I don't know his or her motoric skills, so forth, so on and so forth. If it's severe receptive language delay, you can either go two ways, right? Number one, you can go really structured and do something like ABA therapy. If your child is on a spectrum, that is. If they're not, then try speech therapy and also play-based therapy, and either go really structured or really free. All right, and I'm not entirely sure what your child's profile is. It's hard to give a solid recommendation because of that, but I would say stick to speech therapy, and some play therapy would be great, and choose between something super structured or something rather loose, like play therapy that you're playing around, teaching them stuff and so on. I would say like that. Okay, if your child has any other complications, then try like occupational therapy, or maybe some physical therapy if they have problems like walking, problems with like whatever. There's loads of interventions that you would do. I'm not sure what you mean by interventions. Are you talking about like the therapy or the exact tasks that I would do? These questions I cannot answer because I don't know the profile of your child. Okay, so thanks for the questions, guys. Again, if you guys haven't signed up, please go. I'll drop the link again. And this one is like, it's not on agents of speech. Obviously, I'm what's that called? I'm partnering up with another speech therapist who, it's not only me. There's loads of other professionals you can see on the site, as I believe. Okay, let me just check the site to see how much info they put. Oh, that's not a lot of info, but watch the video from Kolby over there. Let me just give you guys a little more like background on it, since there's not enough info. Basically, there will be around like 5 professionals, some speech therapists, some developmental psychiatrists, I believe. And what we're doing there is that we're going to share tactics that we will talk about, at-home strategies you can do during this time, during this pandemic time, which is super stressful for everyone. Okay, even for me, I'm stressed out, and I don't have a kid. I can't imagine for you guys. Oh yeah, Amy says intervention equals therapy. Yeah. Severe receptive language disorder. Go for speech therapy. Oh, not this disorder, delay. Yeah, go with speech therapy and also some play therapy. That would help build her play skills, or his play skills, build his or her, use of gestures, wanting to communicate, all these kind of things, and build it up from ground. Okay, it's going to take some time if it's severe. Okay, and if you don't mind me saying, like when you have a child who is young and it says severe, it doesn't mean that they're super below, because how much, you always think about how old are they and how like this severity of like a disorder or delay is compared to their like to where they're at, right? So if you have they're only 2 years old, right, and they have only 2 years of life to compare to, then it's not going to be a lot of stuff to talk about, like this. You don't have a lot of years to compare to. That's why when you're 2 and you're severe, it doesn't mean that they won't catch up or whatever. It's just that at that point in time, they act like someone who is 2 years younger, right? But obviously, all children who develop in a hockey stick, right? So therefore, the longer you stay at one point, the more delayed you are going to be in the future. Okay, so that's why early intervention is very important, no matter what people say. And I would say that the best intervention is the one that you do at home. Okay, don't leave them to their own devices, literally nowadays, right? Don't leave them with their own devices. Don't leave them with a handphone. Don't leave them with the iPad. Interact with them. At least have like 10 to 15 minutes every day you can spend with them. At least you can put them in the same place and listen to you and play, right? Okay, so that's it, guys. This live is done. And guys, be sure to check out that link I put in the description box. Read it if you need before joining. If you don't want to, it's fine. Don't need to, especially for those who are in the Asia time zone like me, like myself. Then you can have a little more what's that called? You can have a little more context about it, right? So Angie says, "Can you teach me what to do?" Angie, yeah. If this is your first time in my video, go watch as many in the YouTube channel. Okay, it's called Agents of Speech. Since you're on Facebook, you can join inside of our Facebook group. I think you have, maybe you haven't, I'm not sure. But go through those videos first, all right, and then absorb what I'm saying, okay? Because what I don't like, which you will find out, is that I don't like repeating myself, Angie. So, go ahead and take a look first. All right, so Jess says, hi Jess, what's up? Yeah, we're nearly going off now. Just staying for like another few, like 1 minute or something. P says, it's helpful, thank you. Yep, hopefully I have answered your question. I'm trying my best. Yeah. So guys, if you're new here or you haven't watched any of my videos, we do this every week. The best use of your time, of our time, is that you write down your questions in advance and come to me during this time. Because the thing is, I don't do like free consultations one-on-one. Okay, it's a paid. So if you want me to answer your questions, write it down. Make sure you have everything that you need, and then come online on Mondays at this time. Save it even on your Google Calendar, and then ask me here, because more and more it's very difficult for me to answer questions from everyone, right? All left and right and so on. So, and if you need more help, obviously you can set up a one-on-one consultation, but obviously that's paid. That's not free. And I'm sorry about that. It's just, it's my job. So if you guys need help, come online on Monday or ask inside of the Facebook group. Last time I checked my DM, there were quite a few messages, but I totally just missed it because, I just don't even look at it. So this is the best way to reach me as of right now, okay? If you're not inside of the courses, go to agentsofspeech.com, go check it out. The best way then to have a relationship and you're okay with teaching with yourself online is to go there and check those courses out. If you like it, then you can join the membership we can join the membership later on, and we have this kind of chat every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks, you can send me videos, and I will go through those videos and so on. But we're not here to talk about that tonight. If if you need more help, join the Facebook group. Come on to this live video and ask me questions. And at the very last thing I want to say is to join the virtual event that I just pasted in the description box below or on the left or right if you're on Facebook. All right, guys. So have a good night, guys. Have a good Monday evening, and I will see you guys next week, or maybe tomorrow if you're on the virtual event. Okay, see ya.